The dust is settling from WrestleMania 41, and with that comes the Raw after WrestleMania.
I was going to say, I might turn into that weather reporter from Jade Cargill's entrance, because the dust might have been settling, but then Raw's made it go like that's again, Tom. It's going everywhere, this bloody dust.
One of the most action-packed, most story-led, exciting, big, energetic Raw after WrestleManias we've had in some time. So much so that is a sentence that made absolutely no banana. But lots to talk about as we begin again with the Raw after WrestleMania. And it's, do you know what? How appropriate. Of all days for the Raw after WrestleMania, it fell on Rusev Day.
The bait and spirit animal is back in the WWE. Yes, the Alpha Academy are challenging the New Day. The New Day are out there going, ha-ha! We're the greatest tag team of all time. The AA come out and challenge them to a match, and they look like they're going to go tet for tet, and all of a sudden, Rusev Mudria, Rusev Machka does not sound, but Rusev's got a new theme. He comes down, just wipes everybody out. He's dressed like the MMA shorts, like the AEW look that we grew to know and love. He looked fantastic. He's lost so much body fat.
Yeah, the man
probably
is
3% body fat now. Oh yes,
he's looking incredible, and he handed the respective arses to the Alpha Academy. It was reported by Deadline that Rusev has indeed signed a 2-year WWE contract. Wife and former manager Lana has signed a WWE Legends deal as well. So what that means, that means we might not see her as regularly on TV, if at all, but it certainly means when it comes to putting Rusev in the video games, we have the option of adding Lana in there as well.
Delightful. And I'll tell you what, with New Day speaking about them being God, thank God for the New Day. God's favourite champions now here from AEW times, of course. I'm happy with them doing that. And then maybe once the big run's over and we've made serious money, Rusev maybe being world champion, imagine that. Then we go back to the Rusev Day stuff and put the smiles on people's faces.
That could very well be a thing. Speaking of that world champion, we have a new one in Jey Uso, Yeet, etc. And when the celebrations kicked off for the new world champion, not only was Jimmy Uso there, but another Usi friend was there as well.
Sami Zayn comes down, Fred Perry and all. He's wearing a lovely polo shirt. He just said he's very proud of his dog, his brother Jey Uso. But then they get on the top turnbuckles there, Tom, and they're doing the yeet and all that sort of stuff. Sami gets down and he stood in the centre of the ring, just sort of peacocks a little bit, but then nothing happens. But that little tease was there, so I wonder if that may be going something in weeks to come. It didn't look like it at the end of the segment because him and Jay and Jimmy just have a nice celebration, but just that little bit because you hear the crowd go, oh, and then it came nothing. Yeah.
Well, I think they're keeping us ticking over there. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe around the summertime we get a Sami Zayn heel turn.
I think it's one of
those, which will make him the most popular man on the internet.
There's so much history there between Sami and Jay. I don't think you need a heel in that. I just think the story's there to be written with two baby faces.
So as for the former world champion Gunther, a less favourable night. He appeared in a different segment, taking out his frustrations on Michael Cole, getting Michael Cole in a chokehold until superstar Pat McAfee said, "No, get off my friend, calm down," and smacks Gunther one. Security steps in the way, and Gunther just puts Pat McAfee in a chokehold, takes him down.
And instead of being carried out like a knocked out person would do after a big old chokehold like that, Pat walks to the back, but making noises like this. So people who find Pat McAfee annoying would have been really tickled by that one.
That was especially so tickling. Michael Cole stayed on commentary. He was joined by Joe Tess for the rest of the night, but Michael Cole, you could tell, was selling it as well. Excellent work on the selling, but he's going, I'm just going to talk a bit.
He kept saying he's broke to my nose, did Michael Cole, but he also was cutting promos of like he was trying to unionize the announcers, like, if we can't have an opinion and say our things and do our jobs, what are we doing here? We can't have the superstars put their hands on us. That lad Stephen A. Smith, he doesn't have LeBron James put his hands on him. I stuttered there and then stuttered some more, but it felt like he was unionizing the announcers there, Tom.
To which Hulk Hogan picks up the phone and goes, "Brother, you're not going to believe what they're doing. You need to know."
Because it's not the first time we've seen hands put on announcers. It was a quick change of pace for Michael Cole to go, we need to do our jobs properly, otherwise, meh.
I think it's brave that this will be maybe the second time that WWE, in a company that famously famously stamped out unions, is running a storyline based around building a union. Maybe the third, actually. You had the faction, the union. You had the referees going on strike in the summer of 1999, which gave us the Brooklyn Brawler as a referee. And possibly now the commentators going on strike or unionising in some way.
I am jumping to a conclusion there with the unionising stuff, but it was very like a rallying call for Michael Cole. Joe Test was saying the same thing. We need to do our jobs, have an opinion and all that kind of stuff. We can't be put in dangerous situations.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. So away from all of that, we had an NXT champion making their debut on Raw. What a reaction as well.
I'm not going to do that. My goodness me, it was fantastic. I was about to do Booker T shtick there, Tom, but I'm going to stop myself there because no one wants to see that on Tuesday morning. But Stephanie Vaquer is on Raw last night. Basically, Io Sky's in the ring, obviously after her big win at WrestleMania, saying, I am the best. I am the king of the castle. And La Primera comes down to the ring and she says, well, you're the best. I want to fight the best. Let's do the wrestles there, pal. Adam Pearce comes out, goes, oh, well, do the crowd want this? The crowd have already got mental for this. And they say yes, of course. So they have a match, a lovely exhibition of wrestling. But then there's more, Tom.
I want you to write an episode of Raw one week where people have to verbatim do what you say. Adam Pearce coming out going, oh, is that what we want? Yes, there is more because the match was getting into it. It was a really fun match between these two. Roxanne Perez turns up and attacks Io Sky and then turns to Stephanie Vaquer and goes, ha, you go, see you Tuesday. And then Julia appears as well, and Julia takes out Stephanie Vaquer, and it's the mere thought of Rhea Ripley that scares the NXT lot away. She bombs down to the ring, sort of holds on to Roxanne Perez for something, but Perez sort of scuttles away and gets away, and Julia just goes, nah, see ya.
Yeah.
And then we have a little moment where Io Sky has the belt handed back to her by Rhea Ripley, and there's a little moment, I was like, no.
Rhea's getting at least one more shot at that title. It looked like coming out of this segment. But it looked interesting. The unholy union, we'll call them, which has never been used in wrestling before, of Gilly and bloody Roxanne Perez. They were standing together. They were left together. It was like, oh, they're working together. I mean, Gilly was dressed in black, obviously. This is Julia, of course, for people who don't watch the podcast. So, yeah, there could be a little bit of a union there going on.
I think they were also testing the waters with Steve on the main roster.
Oh, 100%. She is unbelievable, Tom.
Yeah.
I think they've all the talk of the town was about Julia arriving in the WWE. Steph sort of arrived under the radar, the AW situation, and she just swept in there. And ever since then on TV, every single week, Stephanie Vaquer has showed up Julia and just proved herself to be far better at the wrestling. Which is not saying Julia's bad, of course. It's just saying that Stephanie is like...
Ooh.
What's happened this morning?
I'm doing a sparkler now. Sparks were flying at the end of the women's tag team title match. New champs once again.
Yeah, the big Becky Lynch return has ended with Lyra Valkyria there, pal, ruining her big return. Of course, the tag team title switch
ruined it.
Happened at WrestleMania. Then we get the match last night where Lyra is the one to take the fall and lose the tag team titles for the Irish ladies to drop them back to the champions who held them going into WrestleMania. And then Becky just batters her because she's ruined the return.
Absolutely clobbers her, screaming at her as she's dropping her and punching her. Keeps leaving the ring, then coming back in just for another manhandle slam or two. Just keep dropping her down. Heartbreaking stuff because, Lyra Valkyria held the championship with her mentor and friend for one whole day, and Becky Lynch has shown her true colours. So therefore, we can put the pieces together and go, Becky Lynch attacked Bayley.
Yeah, 100%.
So Bayley, Becky Lynch this summer.
Yeah, Bayley, Becky Lynch this summer. Because you look at the landscape on Raw, you look at that women's triple threat, especially, and a lot of people decided, probably against the storyline, that Bianca Belair is now a heel. I'm not quite understanding the boos for Bianca Belair. She's been justified in everything she's been saying, in my opinion. Why are people booing her? But you look at the landscape, there are few and far between the heels there, Tom. I've said in ye olde English speak. The heels are few and far between.
Heels are few and far between, as are factions. We have a new one last night. The Dangerous Alliance lives again, sort of. They've not said that outright, but Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman had a segment where they celebrated winning the WrestleMania main event. Interrupted by CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Punk and Rollins get into it, and Paul Heyman takes out Pop Superman punch for his troubles, and just as Roman Reigns is going for the Wurzel special, the ooh-ar! Ooh-ar! Here he goes. Here's Bron Breakker spearing Roman to the ground. Bron Breakker, Seth Rollins, former team, beat the PI 55 out of Seth Rollins, out of Roman Reigns and out of CM Punk. Stand tall with Paul Heyman at the end.
Lovely reveal for Bron Breakker because Bron Baker. He made a cake last night. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him bake.
Because he did the spear initially on Roman Reigns with his hood up. He takes the hood down. The crowd are going wild. Then they do a lovely bit there with Rollins stood there, Punk sort of stood there, Braun sort of stood over there. Who's he going to spear? He runs past Rollins and spears CM Punk, and that's how we get this new thing on the line. I've seen people on the Twitter machine comparing it more to Evolution there this morning, Tom.
Ooh, a mystery.
Rick Heyman, Dave Breaker,
and Seth Orton.
Yeah, triple Seth.
the triple Seth. Speaking of Evolution, the youngest member of said team in the mix now, as we seem to have had, I think, the main event for Backlash revealed on Raw after Mania as well.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Randall Keith Orton.
He has stolen Joe Hendry's camera. We are furious in the Joe Hendry fan club.
Yeah, because the camera is just like it was on Hendry at the end of his WrestleMania appearance, which was fantastic, by the way, at the weekend. Lovely to see it. It's close up on Cena after Cena cuts his promo about his dwindling dates in the professional wrestling. We started off with so many dates, and he goes through, I've been here, and the Tron has got the number on the screen, and it's counting down one by one, down to 27 we've got left, Tom.
We are down to just a few now, and he says that and they're not matches, they're appearances, they're dates. I could just come out and do this for a bit.
You say I can't wrestle? Well, I don't have to, he says.
I know I don't have to. Once that number reaches 0, I am leaving as the last real champion. To which he ate an RKO, but done so magnificently, because Cena's giving it all this, holding up the belt, and Orton appears behind him, and Cena sees Orton and just turns and goes, oh shit! Drops on the RKO.
So it looks like we're getting a tour of the greatest hits maybe with Cena for this portion of retirement tour, because it's funny the Money in the Bank is coming up there, Tom, just after Backlash.
Yeah.
And what is Cena synonymous with that pay-per-view for?
Oh, well, CM Punk.
Yes, exactly.
So, mate, yeah. So we think we'll do Orton Cena, we'll do CM Punk and Cena, maybe SummerSlam. Will the dates?
He's all the way back at SummerSlam. I don't think that'll happen.
No, wow, that would be funny. Oh, crumbs. I mean, do the dates reach him all the way to SummerSlam, where we maybe do Cody Cena again?
Potentially, yeah.
And then you have Cody win the belt back, maybe.
I think Bron Breakker might be positioned as the guy to
take
it off him at the end of the year. Could you imagine? Oh, Evolution is a mystery.
Spicy. Raw after WrestleMania was a belter. The entire breakdown from WrestleMania with the Cultaholic podcast, lads, waiting for you on the channel and on the podcast feed as well, as we get set for a whole new season of WWE.
Yes.
That video of Triple H.
The off season lasted a second.
Well, there's the off season. Drops paper on this thing. Time to write again.
What's he like, Paul?
If you get these notes so early in advance, why was the women's stuff so? Yeah. Anyway. Just putting that out there for you.
The Pamela Bailey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Is it Hold and Give Day?
I don't know if
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It is Tuesday.
Feels a bit like Christmas.
I've got
That bit between Christmas and New Year's. I don't quite know what day it is.
I know, yeah. I've got maybe it's either today or tomorrow. One of the two.
Okay. Well,
keep your eyes peeled on the channel. I'll set the thing live for your reminders and whatnot.
Set your reminders just in case.
It's very busy. It's very busy, Tom.
It's very busy.
Very busy.
Very busy. Very busy. As are we. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.